Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to download and play Wii games on your computer and how to get that all set up. So the emulator that I'm using to play this is Dolphin. And if you go to their website here, go ahead and click on download. At the top they have beta versions. You won't want to click on any of those. You'll want to scroll down to the bottom under stable versions. And at the top they have the latest version available for Windows or for Mac. So go ahead and click on one of those. And once that's downloaded, you'll want to decompress it. And if you're using Windows, you may need to download additional software. The one that I like is 7-Zip, which is available at this website here. You can download the latest versions for those, get that set up, and that'll help with decompressing the files that you download for this. So once that's downloaded, you want to send that file to a new location. I have mine in games. And then you'll want a place to store the games that you download for the emulator. So I've created a folder here called Dolphin ROMs, and I've put some games in there. Now, where to get games? There's a lot of different places you can go online to get them. You have to be careful though, because a lot of places do have malware on them. So one website that I use that I've found to be trustable is vm.net/vault. And if you go to find game here and go ahead and type in whatever game you want to download, go ahead and click search, click this here. And all you need to do now is click on the download link. If you're wondering what this is, this just gives you an option of format for the download. If I were to click on this, it'll give me a message telling me that, the other versions aren't as stable, but they might be needed depending on if you run into any errors with this. But that gets a little more advanced, so I recommend just keeping it at the top one that they have automatically listed for you. And depending on the type of game, it could take a while. With Metro to the M, it took about 2 to 3 hours to download. And then once that's downloaded, go ahead and use 7-Zip to decompress it, and then you can go ahead and put the game file in the location that you choose. So once that's all set up, go ahead and click on Dolphin, click on Open, and then go ahead and select the game that you just downloaded. It'll give you this message. Just go ahead and click on one of these checkboxes here and continue. And that is pretty much it. The game should run no problem. If you click on tab, it can fast forward through some things like the intro and whatnot. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There are controls set up for you. And depending on the game that you're playing, you might need to go ahead and configure those. So I'm going to exit this and show you how that's done. With games like Metro to the M especially, where you're switching between pointing the controller at the screen and hiding it, the controls get a little more advanced. So I'll show you what I've done to get that set up. So to configure the controls, go ahead and click the controller icon at the top here. And you'll want to go to the Wii remote to the top, click on Wii Remote 1, and click Configure. So what you have here is the buttons that are on the Wii controller on the left. And on the right, you have the buttons that you choose with whatever controller you're using. So if I were to click on for button 1, click on this, I can choose X to be button 1, and I've used Z for button 2. Now, if you're wondering what some of these other buttons are here, like up and W, you can configure it to use multiple buttons at the same time for the same control button. So to do that, right click on it. And as you can see, there's just that line right there that separates up and W. I could, if I wanted to, go ahead and type in another one And say if I wanted to use Y, I can now press up W or Y for the same button on the Wii controller. I'll just leave that as is. And for a little more advanced controls, there are some functions that you can put in. So there's functions listed here. I don't know what all of these do, but I know a few of them. So for this, I use space for one button for A, and then I used shift for the other one. No, the thing is I wanted to use shift, but only after a certain amount of time after holding it. So that's what the hold function does. It allows you to activate button A by holding shift after holding it for 0.2 seconds. And I'll show you a demonstration of what that's like in here in just a second. There are some other control options listed here. The ones that you only really need to be concerned with if you're playing Wii games are general and options and motion simulation. These are pretty much set up where you need to be, where they need to be. For games like Metro the M, I had to toggle the hide function. So if I right click on that, toggle is another function that's listed here that you can use. And then I have control for the button that you press. What toggle does is it's basically an on and off switch. So I'll show you what that's like. If I press control, it activates the hide function right here. And if I go ahead and press it again, it'll recenter the Wii remote to the screen. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate what that's like here in the game. Oh, and before I exit, if you have your controls the way you like it and you want to save them, you can go to profile at the top. I have created a profile Metro the M, and I've saved all the controls to that. So if you want to switch games, or if you're switching profiles in a certain game, you can go ahead and create multiple profiles to match whatever buttons work best for that. So go ahead and close that. Let me go into Metro the M. I'm going to go to load state. Oops. There we go. All right. So as I was saying earlier, I use control to toggle between pointing the Wii remote at the screen and taking it away. I've also configured it to where you can actually use the, oh no, I think I disabled it actually. But anyway, for the shift key, I have it set to where it moves the Wii remote upright and it presses the A button after 0.2 seconds, like I'd mentioned earlier. And the reason that was important is that when you're jumping in the air, if you press the A button, it automatically goes into morph ball. So you don't really want that. So what I've done is if you want to have the function of holding the controller upright and holding down the A button at the same time, I have it set so that it can do that. So if you're jumping, you want to have the controller go upright, 2.6 later, 0.26 seconds later, it holds and presses the A button. So that is it. That is the general gist of getting your Wii games to play on your computer.